All right, happy Thanksgiving, everyone. I said I was on the fence about whether or not I was going to try to trade Friday. It's a half day. I am going to go ahead and try to just trade the open, the first hour, see if we get any gap plays. And I've got a list of stocks to watch, but, if there's any trades to be made, it'll be in the first hour. Volume's going to really taper down after that. I was kind of skeptical about Wednesday, and Wednesday ended up being a monster day. So I saw at least one of our members said best day of the year for them. So, this. Sometimes these holiday volume weeks can give you great opportunities. Things really move maybe even more rationally than normal. So here's a list I'm going to be watching tomorrow. I'm bringing you this video, by the way, from my desk treadmill. I got a standing desk and then a treadmill designed to go with it, a standing desk. And I'm actually working the treadmill here because I did the math. My wife has a little like Weight Watchers or Nutrisystem calculator, and so I did the math and put in everything I ate for dinner, and I ended up having just for dinner today, I think it was 685,000 calories. So needless to say, I'm on the treadmill, and hopefully I can get back to normal when this holiday season's over, because man, so much food that I would normally never eat. But okay, anyway, OPXA. Now, a lot of people would look at this and say, hey, you've got these two topping tails. There's a seller up here, and it's extended. It's just come from 3. It actually hit 5. And that's, those are good observations. But when you go to the intraday, really nice afternoon move here. Hold on, I might have after hours on here. Nope. Okay, so you had a really nice afternoon move here. Then it ripped the next day before coming back down. Then on Wednesday, market's closed today, Thursday. Then on Wednesday, it did nothing. But then in midday, I guess it had news and just ripped again. So you've got now a high and a lower high. It's definitely been being slapped back down. But whenever I see, and you guys have seen enough of my videos if you've seen them, whenever I see a stock making moves like this on an intraday basis, in the very recent past, in this case, Wednesday, Tuesday, and Monday, right? It goes back on watch, because I know this stock now is capable of making these somewhat violent moves, and if we can catch a proper setup, we can make a really nice trade, nice percentage gain in a short period of time. EROS, I'm a little skeptical to put this one on watch because companies keep coming out, or not companies, but people keep coming out and slamming this stock, but it got slammed, let's see, on Tuesday. Let's go to the 15-minute. Yeah, see, it got slammed on Tuesday on bad news, and then right back up and closed close to its highs. And so this becomes interesting to me, and this is another example of, it doesn't show it very well there. It does here. Another example of a stock that made a really big move here, made a nice one here, and I like the fact that, somebody came out with news on it. It might have been Seeking Alpha article or something, but they just are not pushing this thing down anymore, so it looks really good. I don't know, up over 960, 970. This one might retest recent highs, so you can kind of see the push here and then kind of flagging, and that's that little spike where the selling didn't take hold. So that one goes on watch, but I'm not a big fan of the way it's been trading lately. VLTC, huge move, and then gave some back on lower volume on Wednesday, and that's a pretty good candidate for maybe a third day, another little squeeze. So we'll keep a close eye on VLTC. ESI. Now, you don't have, if you watch my videos, I like high recent relative volume, okay? Relative meaning for that stock. And you don't really have that here, but I mean, imagine if I zoom in and get those big spikes out, you can say, okay, well, we do have somewhat high relative volume for this stock, but not really like passionate moves or anything. So I like this one a little less, but even then, huge move back here. I always try to look at the chart and see if the stock's ever kind of made any kind of squeezes, and this was the squeeze. This one, I think, has a big short position. It's not that hard to see. I don't have a trend line drawn, but see if I can remember how to draw one. Trend line right there. So you can kind of picture the trend line being broken this week so far, or they're trying to break it. So you had this spike, gave some back, and then Wednesday was kind of an inside of Tuesday's range. So I look at this and say, okay, we got a trend line break, decent relative volume recently, right? Not massive, but decent. And a break of Wednesday's high would be 375, and you look to the left, and then you have Tuesday's high just above that at 383 would be a break of that. So I've got a couple catalysts, 375, 383, and then maybe a move to 4, and you get over 4, anything's possible. So let's keep this one on our radar. All right, not in love with it, but it might get a short squeeze. Yelp has been super strong lately and had this this almost looked like capitulation here to the upside, right? Because it's been so strong, and all of a sudden you get a big push on bigger volume. But look what it's done since then. It's really just in a tight flag. So I really like this over Wednesday's high, which would be 30.55. And then you break this flag and maybe retest and break through 31.25. So I like Yelp in that area. GLBL, I like to have at least one decimated stock for a possible bounce watch. Keep your eyes on SUNE, because this one, if SUNE gets a pop, this is a great setup for a bounce, because it runs with SUNE. So if SUNE pops, this one's so beaten up that I think you could get probably a better percentage move by flipping to GLBL on an SUNE run. All right, that's a lot of ifs, but that's why I'm in cash every night. I don't have to worry about any of those ifs playing out, because I'll just be playing them on an intraday basis. EFUT. Okay. Oh, this one is more on the list as a joke than anything, because this is actually a perfect setup. You had a monster squeeze here, and then 2 days lower on much lower volume than on the squeeze. So this is one of my favorite setups. Okay, you talk about recent volume and passion, right? Recent crazy move, low float, and then 2 days lower. Perfect setup, except for one thing. In after hours, they came out with news. This would have been my number one stock to watch tomorrow for a bounce play. In after hours, they came out with news. I think a stake, maybe about 50% stake in the company by somebody or something like that. And believe it or not, this ran up to over $25 in after hours, and I think it settled around 21. So anyway, learn this setup. I love it, but unfortunately, it made its move in after hours on Wednesday. It'll still be on my radar tomorrow, just in case, on the gap up, in case we get a decent little initial sell-off and then a turn back up to burn the initial shorts. But, that's probably the only way I would play that one. All right. I don't short stuff like this. Too low float, too dangerous. AVXL. This one's still really doing nothing. It's just chopping sideways. But we had this big push here, and it's just putting in lower highs. Let's go to 15-minute candles. There's the big push, and then you kind of picture a trend line right here, right? So if we get up, up near 590, somewhere around there, you kind of have a trend line or possible flag break, and maybe a move higher. I'm not in love with that one, but it's worth having on watch. And speaking of bounce plays, PSTG just goes back on watch. If you wanted to look at, I can't type while on the treadmill, NMBL, if this one doesn't break down, in other words, this one, because it looks like it's trying to break down after the gap down, if it finds support and starts popping higher, again, another way to play that would be PSTG, because those two are going to run together. So that's I really like the way this is a relatively new issue and just beaten senseless, especially for the last 4 days. That's a pretty good candidate for a bounce play. PSTG, okay, let me try that again, AEZS. Again, this is, I think, just running because it did a reverse split, 1 for 100, and I'm pretty sure that's the only thing moving this one. I haven't even delved into the news. I just know it's a crazy mover. Again, it's not something I would ever hold overnight, but this one might give another upside day tomorrow. But be careful with that one if you play it. Believe it or not, I haven't played AEZS or KBIO since the craziness started. They're just, to me, they feel a little too dangerous, and I don't like to get. I got seasoned traders in my chat room, and I have brand new traders, and so I just gravitate away from the stuff that are just crazy because I don't want to get anybody in big trouble. MCU, and when I say I definitely like low float stocks with recent high relative volume, which some people would say, hey, that whole genre is crazy. But I think I'm pretty good at weeding out the ones that are ultra dangerous, and KBIO and AEZS to me fall in that category. So anyway, MCUR, really nice 2-day move here from 1 to almost 3, and it tried to get going again on Wednesday, and so you had this real nice move here, and again it's just kind of forming a flag pattern. So maybe up over 210, this one becomes interesting again. put 211 in my notes. And then lastly, CANF. And really, this is more than I wanted to watch since I'm only going to be trading an hour tomorrow. But hopefully, if you see my monitor setup, I've got 6 monitors, so hopefully I'll be able to spot one setting up before they actually trigger. And then CANF, after the gap up here, a couple days down, and found some footing on Wednesday. And just looking for maybe a break of Wednesday's high or over 340. This one might head up to recent highs. It says it's a low float, like 10 million, at least according to finviz.com, but this one doesn't trade like a 10 million float. It trades a little thicker than that, so I'm not sure about it, but I think it's worth watching. All right, let's leave that. I hope everybody had a fantastic Thanksgiving. Stay safe, and again, we'll be trading I'll be there for about 1 hour after the open tomorrow. And remember, it's a half day, all right? After that, have a great weekend, and my next video will be Sunday night.